2019 season didn't go as planned. That includes a sophomore slump for Baker Mayfield. Another new coaching staff in Cleveland is going to have the task of getting him back on track. Offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt says it all starts with the feet when it comes to his quarterback.
You know, it all starts with the feet. The feet never lie. They get you through your progressions. So just some of the ways that we'll have him drop, both from under center and in the gun, will change slightly to help him. In my opinion, it helps in the three-step game, the quick game. There's more rhythm. It's not as robotic. It's more fluid. I've always used the term feet. You know, I want the feet to be like Mozart and not like Metallica, if that makes sense. And not to say that he is, but with the footwork, it's just a fluid motion. You're really back there dancing through the pocket as you go through your progressions.
That's it from here. Let's get you back to the crew in New York.
All right, welcome back to Good Morning Football. The great thing about the NFL celebrating season 100 is that they get legendary teammates together. And when you do that, you have moments like this. Check it out.
Harry and myself, we had a little disagreement and we fell out of friendship. When I was inducted into the Hall of Fame, I didn't invite him.
No, you didn't.
But he came in a way.
I came.
He was there.
That's right. You know, we had something. I love this man. You know, everybody calls him LT. I call him Lawence Taylor.
I'll tell you what, best football friend you could ever have. Yeah.
And you know,
he can play a little bit too.
You know what I love about that moment? We live in a day and age where football players, they're afraid to show their emotions. And I feel like most men should. And in that moment, we got to see the raw feelings between teammates and what that relationship was like. And we were just flies on the wall of a very powerful moment. What was that like?
You know, Harry's he's one of my closest friends. He's one of my biggest cheerleaders. Yeah. You know, he's a great guy, and we have respect for each other.
That's awesome.
I tell you what, man, hey, that boy right there, he can play some football. Mm-hmm. He can play. Mm-hmm.
Lawrence, let's go to one of your moments of triumph. Super Bowl 21.
Okay.
It's you versus the young John Elway, Giants, Broncos. Tell us about that game and how big was it for you to get that ring?
That was the first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what? That year, I gotta say, we were the best team in the NFL. I mean, nobody, after the Minnesota game, nobody played with us. Nobody played with us. I mean, we lost our first game. We lost to Dallas the first game, and then we lose our seventh game.
Okay.
Seventh game. And then it looked like we was going to lose to Minnesota, and we end up having a great play by Phil Simms and the wide receiver, and we went. And then from that game on, nobody played with us. We were the best team in the league. Nobody. Hey, listen, guy, you start the game, first quarter. By the third quarter, man, we sitting in the stands. Nobody played with us. Yeah. We were good.
You were very good, and you won 2 titles with Bill Parcells. I feel like you're very much linked with him if you think about your greatness and what you were on the field. So what was your relationship like with him, and how did it sort of evolve in life and on the field?
Bill Parcells, I'm going to tell you something. You know, even though you look at a guy like Bill Belichick, who probably will go down as the greatest coach of all time, you know, and you can't take it away from him.
Right.
Bill Parcells will always be in my number one.
Really?
Best coach, because I mean, Coach, he made me want to play. I mean, even every year, there's during a season, there's times when you just don't want to do it no more. You just don't want to do it.
Bill Sims said he's a motivator, master motivator.
Yeah, he's a motivator, all right. But sometimes you just don't want to do it. And he finds a way to turn that switch. We used to go to away games, and he'd have his little sheet, and he'd be calling off names. Roll call.
Yeah.
LT, you here? I might be. Yeah, Coach, I'm here. He said, let's go, bus driver. We got enough to win.
That's it.
That fires me up. That fires me up.
We do this Belichick sit down with Collinsworth and Rich Eisen were there, and Belichick shared a story about maybe some of the team meetings you weren't as engaged with it. Belichick, Parcells in those rooms, you're in the classroom listening to them. The impact that you three had on defensive football. Do you realize the legacy that you guys left on just how you changed the game as a unit, the three of you guys?
No, I'm waiting for the check, though.
Okay. Changing the game check.
But, right. No, but I'll tell you what, Parcells, great coach. Belichick, you get over his early days, but you look at him now and you just look at his amazement, what he has achieved in over the years, because 20 years ago, we would never have thought that. Yeah. But right now, I mean, he's going to be the best and he deserves it because he's a workaholic now. Mm-hmm. And I got to say this one thing: I have never, ever been on a Bill Belichick defense and not gone into a game totally prepared. Mm-hmm. All right, he will prepare you. I mean, you never have to worry about going into a game and not knowing what the hell you're doing.
Lawrence, we appreciate you. We got to go real quick, but I have to ask you this question. What advice would you give to 22-year-old self, but more importantly, the 22-year-old athlete that is about to start this NFL journey, as you know, could bring a lot to your life, not just on the field, but personally?
You know what? I look at it, if I had a chance to do it all over again, how I would do things, because back in the day when we were fancy free, we didn't really care. It was like a gladiator sport, man. Hey, I'm a gladiator. It comes out, or I do my task on Sunday, and then Monday I reap my rewards. And so,
right.
Hey, it's a different type of sports now. Hey, you need not just bronze, you need brains. And if you think you can do it all by yourself, you can't. You need help. You need help. You need friends. You need help, and you need people that you can trust. And that's just on a Monday. Okay. All right.
Great advice, man. Lawrence, I appreciate your transparency and honesty. Thank you so much for joining us. Lawrence Taylor, absolute legend. Crush, someone who can handle an action, because you want somebody that's physically fit, right? Pat Mahomes is a freak of nature, someone who has poise. So I'm going with the guy who we actually already talked about here on this show, one of America's favorite superheroes, Mr. Anthony Mackie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I needed somebody athletic. This is Falcon. Oh, here we go. Now, here's the thing. He doesn't really have the exact same complexion, but we're not even gonna worry about that. Yeah, but I'm going with Anthony Mackie because he's versatile. He can do dramas, he can do action, and I've seen him do comedies. And I think Patrick Mahomes has a little bit of everything. He makes people laugh, makes people smile, and he's a freak athlete.
I love Mackie. Mackie jumps off the screen. I think he can carry the role as Mahomes. I'm gonna go as Mahomes tight end though. I look at Travis Kelce. You need someone who is a physical specimen, a handsome guy. And Nate, help me with this. Travis Kelce has, would you call it like a flavor?
Yeah, like a white chocolate flavor.
There's certain stereotypes that he doesn't have.
What's a white chocolate flavor?
I don't know.
It's kind of like Jason Williams, if you will.
The basketball player.
A little bit extra sauce, a little bit of extra flavor, a little bit of more of a rhythm in the step.
Thank you, Nate.
Okay, thanks, Nate.
And we also know Travis Kelce can dance really well. So give me Channing Tatum. Give me Channing Tatum as Kelce. He can handle the comedy. He can handle the action. He's got a little beard there. We certainly know Tatum can. His hips don't lie either, friends. We know he can move, and I think he can do everything as Travis Kelce. I'm here for it. I think we got Anthony Mackie and Channing Tatum.
I like that.
I think we're off and running.
I bet they get mistaken for each other at Starbucks and stuff.
You think so?
100%.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Channing Tatum.
Channing Kelce.
Channing Kelce.
What do you got?
Chasing Kelce. I got to speak with Jimmy Garoppolo before the game, and I have spoken with Jimmy a bunch, and I'm talking with him, and he's speaking words.
Do you have fresh breath?
And yet I'm looking in his eyes, and I'm thinking, man, you are good looking. You are a handsome man, and he's speaking. You want to talk? Hey, name a better duo, guys.
Oh, wait. Who's more handsome, by the way?
Hey,
You're looking good, fam.
Hey, who's got it better than us? Nobody. I'm looking at Garoppolo, and I'm talking.
Who thought we'd be here right now?
Who thought? Look at us.
Look at us.
We're talking, and I'm like, and this guy, but then I'm also thinking, like, all right, if he wins this thing, this guy's going to be an international superstar. If he loses it, he might be a little bit complicated. There might be a darkness in his eyes. There might be a scorned feel, a scarred feel almost. And I saw this movie, Marriage Story, and I'm telling you, this Adam Driver puts in a performance. Garoppolo going dark, Garoppolo going pained, Garoppolo going into deep, deep places with his emotions. I'm saying Adam Driver as Jimmy Garoppolo post Super Bowl.
Interesting.
And how he did. Let me see the photo of Adam Driver here.
I'm into it.
I mean, Driver is one of these actors that can play Kylo Ren.
Yeah, sure, Peter.
He can also play Lena Dunham's boyfriend in Girls. He's been in countless Noah Baumbach dark spots. I think that Adam Driver is as deep and as complicated a man, and now I think Jimmy Garoppolo, post-Super Bowl loss, this could be a deep, deep place for him to go and find his inner emotions. I need a thespian. I don't need just some pretty boy. I need a thespian. I'm going with Brooklyn's own Adam Driver as Jimmy Garoppolo in a dark, almost mysterious way.
You are upset.
Well, fantastic actor, and I love the stretch. Do you think that there's so much of the Garoppolo role as the aesthetics? Do you think that Driver could play? I mean, who do you have playing Tom Brady? Paul Giamatti? Come on, Peter.
So who would you rather have? You want me to say Zac Efron?
I wouldn't mind it. I like the Driver role.
Who else would you got? Remy Malek? Who do you want?
I'll go with your pick. I'll go with Driver.
Timothy Chalamet.
I like Chalamet. I like Chalamet a lot.
You think Chalamet could do Jimmy Garoppolo?
The only person who could do Jimmy Garoppolo
is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy damn Garoppolo. Exactly right. Howard Stern played himself in a movie. They do it all. I would like to see James Garoppolo do it as
Did
himself.
you not get to talk to him at all this week, Jimmy G?
I've never spoken to Jimmy
What the
G.
hell?
No. I heard that
this was the week.
someone spoke to his family about me, and apparently they're amused by my antics on the show, but I've never spoken to Jimmy. I've never met him. I've never done it.
It's amusing until you've got his name on a list and you're putting lipstick on before bed. I mean, that's not amusing.
Yep.
You guys all act like Jimmy don't want it. I'm telling you, all this restraining order talk means that he's not interested. Who knows? I just want to hang.
We've got...
Just have a Shasta. It's okay.
3 new coaches in the NFC East, Rivera, McCarthy, and Joe Judge. Which quarterback do you expect to make the biggest leap under their new head coach?
The biggest leap, I would say Dwayne Haskins, because I know that Ron Rivera is going to demand excellence. And I saw glimpses last year. I mean, the moments where he made the right read and delivered the ball, showed off that big arm, you know, it forces you to kind of look into the future a little bit and have some optimism. But when it comes to him making some of those bad throws, that's where Ron Rivera comes in and understands how to dial back a young fella who just wants to go out there and sling it. I mean, the Cam Newton MVP season, I know there are a lot of people involved with his success, but Ron Rivera was one of those individuals that instilled discipline in that organization. And that discipline, it works all the way down to the players. So I would say Dwayne Haskins has the biggest upside. I feel like Dak Prescott is the guy that's going to come in right away and make plays, though.
See, I look at the coaches themselves. Ron Rivera is a great head coach. He's a CEO of a building. He's a defensive guy. Right? And Scott Turner's, Norv Turner's son, he's the offensive coordinator. He doesn't have a long track record of getting quarterbacks to be...
So McCarthy here?
I'm going to say Mike McCarthy. Thanks. You're coming from a quarterback guy who's coming in. It's a fresh new blood for Dak Prescott, who's only known Jason Garrett as his head coach and has been through Kellen Moore and Scott Linehan, which is kind of the same offense. McCarthy brings a whole other bag of tricks with a whole different coaching staff. You know, whether Moore or not is in the ear or whatever it is, Mike McCarthy is going to give Dak Prescott a fresh look. I think this is the best chance for an upgrade. Dak Prescott's got to be a Cowboy, though, before we even talk about that. That's most important.
But I agree with you. And I think him saying that he likes Dak is huge. The fact that he brings the experience of getting the best out of 2 of the best to play the game, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, is huge for Dak Prescott. And what should be a huge jump in year 4, year 5?
Year 5.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm with you, Shregs. I like McCarthy and Dak, if Dak comes back. I mean, I really like Daniel Jones and, you know, some of the throws that he can make and having Saquon back there, but I just think Mike McCarthy, you know, having Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, and he can make Dak take that next step. And, maybe be in that top tier where Dak wants to get paid.
One of the more fascinating guys in this whole conversation is Jason Garrett. He's going to be the offensive coordinator for the New York Giants with Daniel Jones. And Joe Judge is a wide receivers coach, special teams guy. He's not exactly a quarterback guru. Yeah. Jason Garrett might be the most important person on that New York Giants staff if they're going to get their quarterback to get regarded. And to think about, Jason Garrett is now the number 2 in New York after all those years being number 1 with the Star in Dallas.
That's the most fascinating dynamic. I mean, just think about, what has happened in the NFC East. Joe Judge. I mean, what about him and his experience? I mean, I think that's the biggest question mark. What's going to happen when the New York Giants step on the field? Is it going to be the Saquon show and teams just have to come in and stop Saquon? Or is Joe going to say, you know what, I got Daniel